Hi folks, this is Andre from Timesact, and in this tutorial I just wanted to show you how an access request in Shopify actually works, both from our end and from yours. Now, when we're saying an access request, we don't mean something like asking you for like your email and your password to your store. I just wanted to say that to you in case this is something new for you. So nobody's going to ever request that from our team, and we don't have to because Shopify actually provides the system through which we can use their platform to request some limited access to particular areas of your store. Okay, and you can approve it, you can add it, remove it, and it helps us in cases where, for example, we need to do a code cleanup from a previous pre-order app that left code post uninstall. Or maybe there's something more custom about your store that we need to fix, and we need to get to the theme files and we need to see what's going on there and try to understand the situation better, or just create some custom implementation from you where we add a script with our code created just for you onto your theme files so that it can be accessed by the app. Now, there are multiple scenarios where this can come in handy, and we always ask you for permission before doing this, and we never send an access request unless we actually have that permission. Okay, so I wanted to show you, this is how we see you if you install the app as a store. So this is my example store, Sports Geeks, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to request access to this store. Let's say I have something to solve for this particular store. Okay. Now it's going to ask me in this case for a collaborator request code. Okay. So this could be a setting that you have on and off. In this case, for my store, it's actually on. So I'm going to go here to the other tab and I'm going to go into settings, users and permissions. And here I'm going to take this 4-digit code. You can see it here. You can always generate a new one. For example, 1185. Okay. And if I add it in here, 1185, this will allow me to make the request. But you got to remember that this code, okay, you don't necessarily need to have it. Like you can allow anyone to send you a collaborator request because you you accept all of these, on your terms. So adding this extra layer of security, I don't know if it's really that helpful, but I just wanted to show you that as well. So back to my request here for the store. Now, usually what we request access to are the following. So we request access to products. This allows us to actually view the products inside the Timesact app for your store. Without it, we don't have access to that, so it's kind of pointless. Then we go to manage and install apps. And this is mainly to get access to the Timesact app, but it can also be relevant to get access to other apps in case, like, I don't know, some of them are interfering, or you want us to investigate if there's any possibility of like making the app work together with another app. And we request access to themes, okay? And this is in order for us to actually be able to see your theme files, be able to see some backend code so that we can make adjustments, like either on your store, if it's a custom implementation, or in our database, but based on what you actually have behind there, okay? Now, there are scenarios in which you'll ask us to investigate something particular about an order, in which case we can request access to orders as well, but we don't usually request this unless it's absolutely necessary. And we might request access to manage settings. Like this could happen in case you want us to add certain pre-order information to like your packing slip, maybe, or to your invoices. That can also be a scenario, but like usually we don't need this or the orders. Classic is just products, manage and install apps and themes. Okay, here in the message, we usually say, hi, it's Andre from Timesact. Thank you. Okay, and then I just click this button, request access to store. And what's going to happen now is that the request is going to be sent to the store, and it's going to have this access pending status, right? So if I click on it, you'll also see pending here. And now it's just waiting for you to actually approve access, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and do that. And there are two ways in which I can get to approve the access. Like one way is I'm going to get like an email notice here from Shopify, request to store access. It's saying that KRock Partners, that's our company name, is requesting access, and you can go ahead and view the request from the email. Okay. So if you're the store owner, you can just wait until you see it in here. You'll see the message from us, and then if you click view requests, what it's going to do is it's going to redirect you in the same place in your Shopify store. So settings, users and permissions, and somewhere here you see KRock Partners, and this is waiting for your approval. Now, you also need to know how to navigate this area in case, let's say, like you're not the store owner, so you're not going to be the person with the email associated with the account, so you won't get it on the email. But if you have the requisite rights, you might still be able to approve the request. Okay, so remember settings, users, and permissions, and scrolling down the page, you'll see as KRock Partners SRL. Okay, so now you get to open this up, you get to see what we've selected, and like I said, products, themes, manage and install apps. And this is like generically, it's going to select all of your apps, so you can offer access to all the apps or just our app or specific apps in case we ask for them, you know. So right now I'm just going to go and hit accept request. Okay, and now you can see that, you know, it's a collaborator that appears in the list. Okay, and on my end, now if I'm going to go check out the store here, if I refresh this page, it should say approved instead of pending, which means I can log in. I have to mention here that sometimes Shopify is slow with these things, so you might get our requests late or you might approve us immediately, but it will update in a while. You know, that happens, you know, when they get like spikes in usage. So don't worry about that. It will eventually work even if it's not working directly. Okay, so now if I log in, because I want to show you what exactly we see right now as a partner with limited access, right? So we get the same view as you, the store owner, but in our case, we actually own this store, and so I'm getting access to all of the areas specified in here, plus, you know, generically. But what would actually happen, like if this was a store that we didn't own and we didn't have access to, would be like I would only be able to see the products, like everything else would be grayed out. So I would see products, I would be able to see this online store where if I wanted to go a little bit further, I could go here in the edit code in order to actually see the theme files. So this would be like the kind of access that I want. Okay, and then when it comes to apps, I would see just like this, just the Timesact app. And now if I were to go into the Timesact app, I could actually see any kind of um, products or settings that this might have. So I would basically be able to see the settings as you've set them and also be able to operate as you do, only on your store. And that is the whole point of these access requests and how they work. Now, one last thing to keep in mind is that, for example, once we're done doing the work we've decided that we need to do together, like what you can do in the end, and this completely depends on you. I mean, we have thousands of stores that have left access open for us in case we ever need to go back and solve anything because it always like saves a few steps. And you can imagine we have no incentive to do anything on your store. We just leave the access open. If you need support again, we would circle back to you. But if you want to remove our access, all you'd need to do here is you would need to select this one and hit remove KRock partners. Okay, it's asking me for my password. Let me see. Okay. And now I've removed it. Okay. So now I can just go ahead and check it out here. I'll no longer have this one, although being the owner might be a little bit trickier in this case. But if we go here, for example, now you can see that it's been removed. It says that I need to request access again. Okay. Now, the last thing you should remember to do, however, is like if, for example, you've had interactions with other pre-order apps, let's say, and you've granted them access so that they can do something on your store, but then you decided to uninstall the particular app, then it might be a good idea to remove collaborator access in the future, because otherwise you're just, like creating a very tempting scenario for certain kinds of people to mess with your currently installed pre-order app. Like, it's not pleasant, it's rare, but it can happen. So that would be one scenario where I would recommend this. Okay. Hope this was helpful. Thank you very much.